Good morning.
Good morning, Rinpoche. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good morning, Rinpoche. Tashidelek.
Oh, Tashidelela.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Okay, ready? Yes. Yeah. Sonji chu don so jun chu nam la. Xiong che par de dan ne xiap sen che. Da kui yang so je pu so nam che. Do la pen she sonji nje per xiu. Sonji chu don so jun chu nam la. Xiong che par de dan ne xiap sen che. Da kui yang so je pu so nam che. Do la pen she sonji nje per xiu. Sonji chu don so jun chu nam la. Xiong che par de dan ne xiap sen che. Da kui yang so je pu so nam che. Drola penchir sonji ndrpa shu semchen tamche deva don devi jodon tember chichi dungar ton dungar ko jodon terwa chichi dungar mepe deva tamba don mandarwa chichi nyerin chadon ni ton tar tonyo tse me pala ni par chichi semchen tamche deva don devi jodon tember chichi Dungar don dungar ka jodon tarwa chichi dungar mepe dewa tamba don mandarwa chichi nyerin chodon ni ton tarwa don nyam tse mepa la nipa chichi semchen tamchi dewa don devi jodon dembar chichi Dungar don dungar ka jodon tarwa chichi dungar mepe dewa tamba don mandarwa chichi nyerin chodon ni ton tarwa Tonyo tse me pala ni para churchi Ni je chenpo tso deni me shin Zone malam chenpo nga jata Pekar ta nga tsen tu hyun mo do Tunba tu je chan la hyun tsa lo Sho oman chu je yin je puro ni Tu son son je kan je ngo go ni Rong san chu ko nga so tan ze Zabla me shabla sorwan de dazun roblo na chu la yer gongda hyo ju dong wen jik den na de hi lu ma jer wa gong si da ding da tang be chu je chan be hi sen ban de pa ya nan de hi hi nan ma ayar tam ba la yi ke don lu no yin ke chen be do no ma ya ke nam don ro wa kan je da na chi zam ba Tamche kende chundan jirwa hyo ruwa nam kardon nyambo samche tamche tendi lana me pa yung tapa zuk sonji ju kompon rambo chen gupa kya nyamda. Hyung chun chodo tu hir te sen tsal konghi senpa shaba chu je ramba nas. Yeah. Welcome and happy to see you. Through the internet, and it's almost like we are see each other. It doesn't matter we are living quite far from, and also this is quite very much privilege to be in front of the you and chat with you about Dharma. And today we are going to study continuity of what we are studied on the past, the word of my perfect teacher. And we studied the almost most part of this book. And of course, you know that this book entirely, and there's three main chapters. The first is like ordinary preliminary practice, like a common preliminary practice, itself has 6 chapters that you know. And these 6 chapters main showing to us, and firstly, to reason why we need to practice Dharma, and according that, and telling to us great opportunity about the human existence, but we cannot to relax to say I'm obtained the human existence. Now I'm like kind of something abstain or like kind of achieved. Maybe it's we are wrong way thinking. Maybe this is like forever my happiness, but that is not truth. When we are real to analyze, and everything is very much impermanent, and this demonstrates to us to hurry up, to do quickly, to practice Dharma. And also why we need to hurry up, because first reason of these opportunities, and after we are passed away or we died, and then it's a how do you say, it's we are disappeared, or absolutely not. We need to continually into the samsara. And then it's like when we are go to the samsara, or the cyclic existence of the our like kind of the contain, and to have some great opportunity like this life, very difficult. Therefore we say is to hurry up. And also we are fully to understand the causalities, and we are like resuming in this life what we done. And Guru Rinpoche says, if you want to know about on the past what you done, you look at the present, your situations. If you want to know where you will be in the futures, you should look present, your actions. And that is the truth. And the present are all the conditions, situations. Entirely depends the preparation of the past. And also, surely in the future we will be happy or not. That is depends the preparation of the in the current our actions. It's obvious, it is truth. And then these 4 reminders, 4 chapters, really kind of the tamed our mind, and our mind is turned back from the samsara, and also turn towards to more and direction of the nirvana or the for enlightenment. And then it's like last 2 chapters. And firstly is talking about the, if you practice Dharma, what is the consequence, the result? It's talking about enlightenment. And there is like kind of question, would you like to be enlightenment? If someone says, oh, I don't care, then I think it's difficult to teach Dharma, or Dharma is not important, because this person is not interested to enlightened. And if someone says, yes, I would like to be enlightened as soon as possible, or any, okay, then we can to teach you dharmas. And also, okay, I'm very much interested for study dharma, and I'm like kind of the eager to be enlightenment for benefit for myself, for benefit for others. Then it's like sayings, if you serious, honest, correctly follow the Dharma, you should follow your great master. On like kind of mistake masters, qualifier masters, you should to rely on it. Then you will definitely be enlightenment. And therefore, external, the preliminary practice, we already studied 6 chapters, we understand those things. Then the inner, the extraordinary chapter, and then it's like really main to practice, uncommon preliminary practice. It is really to be on the path, taking refuge vows, and also accumulating the prayer of the refuge. And that is the kind of foundation of all our practice, meditations. And the first, the element, most important element of the Dharma, to take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And then secondarily, and others benefit, and we generated bodhicitta, and we understood the bodhicitta. And the true type of the bodhicittas, aspiration bodhicitta, application bodhicittas. But bodhicitta is the entire body of the Buddha's teaching. Actually, it is the beginning, also we need bodhicitta. In the middle is also we need bodhicitta. In the end, we need to realize it, the bodhicitta. And therefore, is it the most element important? It is, of course, bodhicitta. And we studied very well the categorizations, how it is the benefit, how to generate, how to practice, and the bodhicitta. And then is the 3rd chapter, and that is the kind of the purifications. And we like kind of the purified adverse conditions. And also there is such negative actions and obscurations. And through the prayer of the refugee prayer, and through the generating bodhicitta, and specifically to practice the Vajrasattva, all these things we need purify adverse conditions. Adverse conditions, and it is a kind of the opposite the happiness, opposite the good. For instance, like a kind of negative actions. Negative actions is like kind of the, what is the negative? And harming, hurting, torch, make sufferings. And this sort of negative actions and action, this kind of actions is negative. This sort of the negative actions can create the obscuration on the mind. And also not only the mind, according that negative actions, making a lot of obscurations, make the problems, of course, principally the mind, and due to that, also make problem body, speech. And then it's through the negative actions, we have all the times got the samsaric kind of the body, like samsaric body, and a little bit best body of the human being, but our contaminated body also, it is not perfect at the moment until we are purified. Negative actions result obscurations. And therefore, and Vajrasavas, of course, it is like most direct purification of the adverse conditions. But now it's like we say it's like the 4th chapter. Chapter 4 is the offering, the mandala, to they accumulate merit and wisdoms. And this chapter also has at the beginning, middle, and the conclusions. First name of the chapter, the 4th chapters, offering, and the mandala. Then it's like accumulate merit and wisdoms. Rely on the mandala offerings. We are accumulate merit and wisdoms. The accumulation itself has divided to merit and wisdoms. Why it is say like this? Accumulate means to accumulate the numbers and like kind of the to more acting. And accumulate is like collecting, practice, meditate, and to accumulate the numbers of the doing positive things or things like this. And here is the mandala. It's like kind of the offering together. And merit means merit, and wisdom means merit is like with concept. That means it's like a normal accumulation of the virtues, like kind of the ordinary. And maybe in the Buddhist perspective, maybe at the beginners, or maybe someone is like kind of a little bit studied Buddha's teaching, they understand a little bit realities, but still they are like kind of have a lot of concept. Means it's like I am doing virtue mandala, and this virtue mandala is like existence. If I do the virtue accumulate mandalas, maybe I will become some healthy rich, beautiful, handsome females, or something concerning more self-benefit. And also it's not much understanding of supreme emptiness. No, like we say, it's like a non-conceptualization. This is like kind of accumulate, but more merit. And of course, it can purify negative or adverse condition or negative action and obscuration. And then it's like wisdom means whatever someone's doing, the accumulate merit or accumulation of the virtues or Mandala offerings, enhanced by the emptiness, non-conceptualizations, more concerning the benefit for other sentient beings, then this virtue is like more advantageous, more profound, more effective. And therefore, this one is we call the wisdom accumulate. And of course, this goes together like a merit, like connect to the materials offering of the mandalas. Maybe it's like kind of the material bodies and like kind of the accumulated merit, prestations, circumambulations to really meditate. And this sort of enhanced by the view of the non-conceptualizations, then combined together can purify fantastic way. And also this true the Mandala offering of the accumulate merit and wisdoms and purified the adverse condition or the negative action and obscurations. Generally speaking, we have two obscurations, and the obscuration of cognitive, that's the obscuration of defilement, and obscuration of the defilement, and also more is like kind of connect to the negative actions, negative emotions concerning more self. Then this obscured our minds, very much making confusion. We need to purify it. No conceptualization, wisdoms accumulate merits, can purify the obscuration of cognitive. And that means our wisdoms more understand the nature of the reality or the nature of the phenomena. And it doesn't matter externally or innerly, or like these things. And therefore there's two kind of accumulation of the merit and the wisdom. That is the title. And then second is the homage. It goes like this. You know the real relative to be alive, yet still you practice the two accumulations. You realize that in the absolute there is nothing to be meditated on, yet still you practice meditation. You see relative and absolute as one, yet still you diligently practice. Peerless teacher, at your feet I bow. Here is homage to the root teacher. And that is the most important. Why? If we want to understand the relative liars and non-existence of the relative realities, all the relative things as the relative, not truly existence. And also at that point of view, to practice two accumulations, not really necessary. But in order to realize the relative liar of the phenomena, we need to rely on the teacher. In order to understand the feature, dimension, simplicity of the relative realities, without relying on teacher, how we can to understand these relative realities. When externally, when we look at our own teacher, peerless, maybe him or herself understood no existence of the relative, not necessarily to accumulation merit or to do the accumulate of the merit and wisdoms. But others' benefit, others' perspective, they still diligently practice two accumulations. In the peerless teacher, your perspective here realizes the absolute truth, realities. The absolute realities, nothing to be meditated. And you probably remember in the hard treasure of the Patrul Rinpoche, there is 4 yogis. One pointed the unification of the two truth and single test, great equanimities. In the absolute point of view, there is nothing kind of the separation of the samsara and nirvana, relative or absolute. In the absolute point of view, what you need to meditate. Best meditation is without the meditations. Absolute realities free of the focal object. There's nothing we cannot preserve into our minds, like space, empty natures. You realize that you don't need to do nothing. But in order to realize that this absolute reality, no meditations. we need rely on the qualified teacher. Whatever teachers says, fully obey, and to bring into our heart, to mix our minds and rely on that pit instructions, then we can to realize it absolute. Of course, peerless teachers realize that absolute truth. Nothing needs to meditate. But the benefit for the others, in the others' point of view, still diligently practice meditations. Meditate. And of course, the peerless teachers, to understand single taste, great equanimity of the relative and absolute, the unification of the relative absolute as the one single test, that you realize it, the peerless teacher, and of course you don't need diligently to practice accumulation or the meditations, because you realize that single test of the universal, one test of the samsara and nirvana, unification of the relative absolute. But to practice for the benefit for the others and others of you, peerless teachers also diligently to practice accumulation meditations. All that is single taste. In ourselves, if we want to realize it, the unification of the relative absolute, single taste, one-pointedness, we need rely on the peerless teacher. Without a teacher, impossible to realize that. And therefore, here's Patrul Rinpoche's, he said, the peerless teacher. For he or her or our own individual perspective, your own teacher is, it doesn't matter, you can to say the peerless. Your each individual's perspective, your own teacher is the peerless, because its self brought you into the path of the Buddha and showing you liberation and give you pit instruction how to realize it as one pointedness of the relative and absolute, and direct point the nature of your own mind, and that's through your own peerless teachers. Therefore he is at your feet I bow. And this presentation is not a kind of randomly or normal. And there's a lot of kind of the reason, benefit. If you undertake any activities, before that, if you bow, if you pray, or if you take refuge, and some compassionate or your own peerless teachers, it's prevent for your obscuration, and also it's like kind of the adverse conditions, and also your actions can purify the negative action and obscurations automatically. And therefore, and this kind of homage has a lot of meaning. And also according to the Buddha's teachings, the Tripitakas, of course, there are like kind of the systems. Most like kind of the times, the object of the homage is Majushir, Buddha, or Buddha and Bodhisattvas. That is according to the Vinayana, Tipitaka, and Sutayana, and Abhidharmayanas. But here is like not that. Here is direct homage to the own teacher. That is like in the Mantarayana's perspective, most our self element, our perspective, the most important element, it is the own teacher. Teacher is the embodiment of all the Buddhas past, present. Our own teacher is like representative of the three root, three rare of the Buddha Dharma Sangha. And the root teacher is the source of all the accomplishment, temporarily and ultimately. And therefore, we are prestating or homage to our own teacher. And now it's like the main chapter itself. The main need for the true accumulations. This is the very, very important to understand the need. Then there is like kind of the giving the reason we need, what we need, true accumulations, merit and wisdom. And how we can to do, which ones, then we are fixated, specific. One like action, or one is like practice. It's the Mandala offerings, we can to say. But here is like need for the true accumulation. We need it. How we need it, why we need it. We say, it is impossible to attain the twofold purity of Buddhahood, or to realize it fully the truth of emptiness without completing the true accumulations of the merit and wisdoms. That is the reason telling like we need it. And here it says, until we completed the true accumulations, impossible to attain the twofold purity of the Buddhahood, purity of the yourself, purity of the others. We say it's like kind of the Tokpa Nying, like this true folder purities, and we say it's like Dharmakaya and Rupakaya. And this is the nature of our minds. One is the essence nature, and one is the luminosity, empty natures. These two purities, the twofold purity of the Buddhahood, is obtained through the two accumulations. This is the first reason. And also second reason, if we not complete true accumulations, we never realize fully, utterly, the truth of emptiness. Maybe we understand some emptiness, but maybe nihilistic. Maybe we understand some emptiness, but just kind of conceptual. Truth of emptiness, supreme emptiness, all aspects. That is without complete the true accumulations of the merit and wisdoms, impossible to obtain or to realize it. We do not realize that the truth of emptiness, we cannot reach the twofold purity of the Buddhahood. Therefore, we need to do accumulations of merit and wisdoms. As I and the above mentioned, we need to have purified adverse conditions. These adverse conditions obscure the truth of emptiness, and also these adverse conditions obscure the twofold purities of the Buddhahood. And therefore, it is the necessary to do accumulations of the merit and the wisdoms. And also, when we do the accumulations, merit and wisdoms, how we can attain the twofold purities of the Buddhahood. The twofold purities, the direct cause of accumulations of merit and conditions of accumulation wisdoms, we attain the Dharmakaya purity of the Buddhahood. And the wisdom, accumulations of wisdoms to make the direct cause maybe I say it's wrong. Firstly, I want to say this, in order to attain the twofold purity of the Buddhahood, Dharmakaya and Rupakaya. How we attain the twofold purity of Buddhahood? Through accumulations of merit and wisdoms. The accumulations of the merit to be direct cause and accumulations of wisdom to make the conditions we are obtained the purity of Rupakaya Buddhahood. And accumulations of the wisdom to be the direct cause, and accumulations of the merit be conditions to attain the purity of Dharmakaya Buddhahood. And that is we call the attained twofold purity of the Buddhahood. Therefore, without we are doing these two accumulations of the merit and wisdoms, how we obtain the twofold purities? And also, through the two accumulations, how we realize it, the truth of the emptiness. When we are practice accumulations and it can purify it on our mind more adverse conditions of the obscurations. And obscurations to be mind is more sharp, clearly, and more approach to the reality of the phenomena. The reality of the emptiness, the nature of the emptiness. Without understanding nature of the emptiness, how we attain the twofold purity of the Buddhahood. Whatever existence, phenomena in the samsara and nirvanas, these are the emptiness. Emptiness of the phenomena of the emptiness. The nature of the realities, it is no shape, no color, no any kind of the dimensions. Simply to say, phenomena of the samsara, nirvana are the rootless, groundless, no source, no abiding place, no destinations, no existence, but everything is arise from that. These kind of inconceivable to natural realities, how we can to realize it? Difficult. Through the accumulations of merit and wisdoms, we came to realize it. And therefore, here is the quotation from the sutta. As it says in the sutta, until one has completed the true secret accumulations, one will never realize that secret emptiness. That is the same as the both. Secret means genuine accumulations, genuine emptiness. Until we are complete the true accumulation merit, wisdom and merit wisdoms. Secret means is authentically, unmistakably, purely to do the accumulations. And we cannot realize that secret emptiness or the genuine superior empty nature of the realities. And the same as the also, and continue this quotation in the sutta says, innate absolute wisdom can only come as the mark of having accumulate merit and purify obscurations. And through the blessing of realized teacher, know that to rely on any other means is foolish. Here is like kind of saying two most important element. Firstly, teacher. Secondly, accumulation, merit. And also very important, innate absolute wisdom. Innate absolute wisdom. Absolute wisdom is innate, born. Or innate means in the primordially, in the inherently, beginning. Whenever exists our minds, at that time absolute wisdom is there. Nothing new, nothing installed that you know. Therefore here it says, innately what you have, that is absolute wisdom. This is your seed. This is your Buddha nature. How it can only come into your mind? What does it mean? How it is arise into your mind? Into your mind is innately this absolute wisdom is existence. There is. But how it is to make shine out, arousing it into your mind. The absolute truth, wisdom, innate absolute wisdom is source of the samsara, source of the nirvana. But it is never ever making problems by the both. Samsaric is never damaged, nirvana is never to make clean. Innate absolute wisdom is at the beginning. It is absolute wisdom. Never ever it is damaged. it can source everything. Also, it is a source of the adverse condition, negative actions, obscurations. And also it is favorite conditions, like accumulations, source of nirvana, no existence, everything is a rise from that. And that one is, in order to shine out, we should work on with accumulate merit and wisdoms. And through that can itself to purified obscurations. Here is purified obscurations, plurials, obscurations of defilement, cognitive. Through obscurations, defilement, obscuration, cognitive obscurations. Defilement, obscurations, obscured for the purity kaya of Rupa kaya. Cognitive obscurations obscured the purity of the Dharmakaya Buddhahood. And also other rely on the teachers. When you can rely on the teachers, cause of pity instructions and condition of your own faith, devotions, can realize or the automatically realize it, the purity or the secret absolute emptiness, realities. Therefore, through the blessing of the realized, through the blessing of a realized teachers, realized, if you rely on the teachers, give you course, direct course, pit instructions, and condition you need, faith, devotions. Faith and devotions make the condition, then can come innate absolute wisdom into your mind to shine out your own nature realities. And maybe it's like kind of someone's try to rely on other way, not kind of through that. If you are relying on the others, of course, there are many different saying. Do some stupid things, many kind of ascetic practice, like kind of the burning yourself, and to make the 5 fires, to sitting on the middle, you can to say, I'm making purified my obscuration in order to realize that something. This sort of different methods probably is very much foolish. And therefore, here is the mention that very important things. To do the accumulation merit and rely on the own teachers. Of course, bodhisattvas' activities, principally the two accumulations, or accumulating the merit and wisdoms. And there are accumulating merit and wisdoms infinite, so many different methods, vast, deep. But here is more easy to do the accumulations, the accumulation of merit with concept and the non without concept. And sometimes accumulations, the apparent, without apparent, or concept without concept. And of course, there is different methods. According to the Bodhisattvas, like, for instance, six transcendent, and that is the great also method. Beginning generosity and the meditative concentrations is more accumulation of merit with concept. The wisdom is the accumulation of the wisdom without concept. And therefore, this two accumulation merit here is specifically, we are talking about the two accumulations, and here rely on the Mandala offerings. All the actions of the body collect the materials for the necessary mandalas, and to put effort holding the mandalas circle, clean, put the grain or something on the making the pile on the this, recite the mantras. All these are the also it's like included meditate, front, refuge tree. These things are the appearances or the concept, the accumulation of the merit. All these activities, actions are enhanced by the non-conceptualizations, then accumulation of wisdom together. And this is the necessary. Therefore, these two accumulations. And also here it says, even those who have truly realized emptiness need to maintain their progress along the path until they attain perfect Buddhahood. So they still need to make effort to accumulate merit and wisdoms. For instance, in order to realize the emptiness, supreme emptiness, or innate your wisdom, first to understand, then is you need to experience, then realize it, then you need to cultivate. 4 process steps. Firstly, to understand. Secondly, experience. Third, realize it. Fourth, cultivate, develop. In the Sutta perspective, when we be the path of the accumulation, you remember the path of the accumulations? We understand conceptually the secret emptiness or the genuine emptiness or innate wisdoms. We only conceptually understand. When we be in the path of the conjunction, we experiencing again and again, not only the understand, we experiencing. And then we are be in the path of the seeing, we realized. Who have truly realized emptiness means maybe you be in the path of the seeing. And when you are be the path of the seeing, it is the first booming. First you see the true nature of the realities. But not completed. Then we have 4th steps. The path of the accumulations, cultivating what you realize at the emptiness. Therefore, even you have truly realized the emptiness, need to maintain their progress along the path until the attained perfect Buddhahood. Until you are like kind of the perfect Buddhahood. Progressively. Because once you attain the first path, you are reached the first bhumi. You have inconceivable qualities. You kind of the rich Buddhahood, but not perfect. There is second bhumi, third bhumi. Each bhumi you are rich, you become more and more perfect. Until you are reached the last bhumi, 10th bhumi. We call the 5th path of the normal learning. Until there, you should maintain progressively to practice the accumulate merit and the wisdoms. You need to put effort to do these 2 accumulation merits. Like this. Maybe we can to stop 5 minutes or no? 10, 20? Okay, 20 minutes. 20 minutes.